Hey guys, good afternoon. It's another Thursday, and I'm so excited to be back here on Facebook Live. I'm here with two of my good buddies from college. We'll talk about some of that stuff as we get started. But I want to welcome you to this episode of Moments of Clarity. We're still in our creative series, and I have quite a few creatives on the platform today. In the person of Cornelius Beverly. What's up, Cornelius Beverly?
What's up with it?
Hey man, it's so good to see you, bro. And then my boy from J Town, Vernon Moore. What's up, bro? He got the slow wave happening. So when we come back, we're going to be live on this episode of Moments of Clarity. We're going in. Let's go. What's up, people? So listen, I'm so excited. My boy Vernon, you still there? Did Vernon deuce out? Hey, so meanwhile, what's up, Cornelius Beverly, all the way from St. Louis, Missouri? What's up, brother?
Man, what's going on, bro?
Man, I'm so glad you had an opportunity. Took time out your Thursday, man, to come holler and hang out with your boy, man. How you been, bro?
Man, pretty good, man. Surviving, living.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I always start my podcast by asking all my guests a similar question, and the question is, as a black man in America, bro, how are you doing, man?
Oh my God!
I know, right?
With everything going on, it's my heart is sick, and my heart hurts for the injustice that we've been facing, and for just the brutality, police brutality, us experiencing it in our own area in St. Louis. Crimes are out of control. Corona is really taking a lot of lives of my good friends and family. Right now, man, it's, I'm dealing with my own health challenges. So every day I get to go out and come back to my house with my family. I'm blessed and happy, man, that I make it back home safely to be with my family.
That's what's up, bro. I'm so glad you took time to be a part of the podcast, man. We're gonna dive into some of those conversations today. Let's bring up my boy, Vernon Moore from Jackson, Mississippi. What's up, Vernon? How are you, bro? Vernon, are you there?
I am.
Hey, man. So how have you been, Vernon? How's everything in Jackson, man?
Everything in Jackson is pretty good, man. Jackson, we're kind of, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing, then I get beat up on my way out. But everything is going good, man. God is good. He's blessing, and I know we'll get a chance to talk about some of the things that he's doing.
Vernon, you're breaking up a bit, buddy. Can you hear me? We're trying to get connections, Vernon's connection going. But Cornelia, so what are some of the things, like, I know we're right in the middle of a pandemic, man. So what are some of the things that that you've been working on during this? I know you still actually working because you work at a church full time. So tell me about that as well, and tell me some things that you're doing in the midst of all this pandemic stuff that's going on.
Well, working as a full-time musician at the church, been still working on my personal ministry, and right now working on launching this new album that's coming out.
So tell us more. Oh, yeah, go ahead, finish. We'll get back to your album in 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and so I'm just trying to, and these days I'm trying to figure it all out, Charlie. I'm trying to figure it out, man. It's so much going on. Like, I think I just celebrated a birthday, turned 44.
That's what's up, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. I'm just so glad to be here, man. My daughter gave me a card day before yesterday. It was belated, but man, she brought tears to my eyes. And she was just saying in the birthday card, Daddy, if you were gold, she said, if you were gold, I would save you up. I want to read it. I'm going to read it to you.
Please read it, man. That's dope.
So, happy belated birthday, Daddy. If you were a diamond, you would be priceless. If you were a golden necklace, I would save you up and buy you. You are the best daddy in the world. Never change. Love, Soraya. And she put "Never Change" because that's the name of one of my songs on my album. Never Change. So man, I'm
Hey,
grateful, man, for
that's
my
what's
baby,
up,
man.
man. That
My
is
brother.
dope. That is really, really cool. So let's
Yeah.
talk about your album. So let's talk about your album. So what's the title of your album, and tell me about the concepts that you're working on with this project.
Well, the name of the album is called "He Keeps Loving Me."
Gotcha.
And Charlie, you know my testimony. Um, man, being at death's door, being on a ventilator 24 hours, I could have left here so many times, man, dealing with health crisis, and God's love is so unmeasurable for me, man. And so I began to write. And so the name of the album is called "He Keeps Loving Me." And
Gotcha.
one of the songs that I like that really blesses me. I wrote this one time when I was going through, bro. And it says the name of the song is called "Great Return." And so the hook of the song says, "You will arise out of the ashes." And then it talks about and there will be a great return. And so I got some songs like that. I have a song called "He Keeps Loving Me," of course, the title track. I have a song called "Keep Living." That's another one I just wrote.
Gotcha.
Um, you wrote one for me. It's called "Saved."
Gotcha.
Um, you know,
Tell me about the
and
song "Never Change."
no, never change. So basically, it talks about the love of God and the consistency of God, and God never changing in my life.
Mhm.
And so it just says, I'm the God who will never change. The word of God remains the same. So trust my word and believe on me. I'll show you mysteries and wonders. And then it just says, I'm the God who will never change. And then it says, I'm preparing you for the whole world to see. I'm the God who will never change. And that song has been my
The Bluetooth
testimony,
device
bro.
is connected successfully.
It's been my testimony, man.
So who is this robotic guest that we have? Is this some type of shenanigans that
No, I'm sorry. That was my speaker, man. I was
Wow.
some shenanigans that Vernon is cooking up?
right.
Yeah, I got tired of him talking. I'm like, man, when I'm gonna talk? You know what I'm saying? So I pushed the button
Oh,
and
I'm
interrupted
sorry.
him.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That's our cue. Like, listen, this is my cue to talk. Let's say, hey, say something. Let's interrupt
Right.
all this foolishness going on.
Right.
Vernon,
So
Vernon, so you're in the hot seat, man. So welcome to Moments of Clarity, man. And so I have you and Cornelius on here, one, because we go back. We go back to, man, the Hines Community College. Ooh, Lord.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
Manuel,
burnt bologna sandwiches,
I know,
mustard.
right? Manuel, come back, bro. Come back if you can. But listen, so
A
Vernon,
whole drawer of Charlie's snacks. Man, there
No,
was
your
survival
snacks.
day. Ah.
hey, so Vernon, let's talk about those old days in Corn. I know you have a lot to share too about those days, man. Back at on Hines Community College, Utica campus.
Yeah,
So because that's how we all met, sort of, kind of, right?
yeah,
So
right.
let's talk about that. So Vernon, dive in. You go first.
Man, listen, I'll tell you like this. I'm not exactly sure when when the three of us met, like as a whole, but it's one moment in my mind that will not leave, and that's when we went to Miss Addison's class, and it was just the three of us sitting there, and we were sitting there, and I believe that it was me and Charlie sitting there first, if I'm correct, and Cornelius come in late, just out of breath.
Oh, okay.
Miss Addison was like, "Young man, where have you been?" And Charlie looked at me and said, "Probably somewhere eating snacks." And so everybody that's listen, we nicknamed Cornelius Snacks the rest of the way. I mean, any time we were ready to tell a joke about some snacks, me and Charlie look at each other and point at Cornelius, snacks, you know. So
The
that's
funny thing,
actually I don't
that's a very
remember.
vivid.
Yeah.
I don't remember that story.
So
We
tell us
do.
about
That's what counts.
tell us about your recollection of the account, Cornelius. How did we all meet?
I know I met you first,
Okay,
and I met Vernon because he was playing for the choir.
got you.
I
Okay,
think that's how I met Vernon, and me and Vernon actually developed a really, of course, me and you've been friends all the way. We all been friends, but me and Vernon, man, I thank God because he was a part of my growth, my spiritual growth. Because at Vernon was saved since he was 5 years old, so he been saved for a long time.
Somebody
So,
lied.
but he took me under his wings when I would go over to his dad's church and play. And he groomed me in a lot. I am a lot of what I became today because of him. I don't know if I've ever told you that, bro, but you've been a very integral part of my growth today as a musician, as far as discipline and spirituality is concerned. Man, you help shape me, man, a lot. And I
Uh,
never will forget you, brother. I really appreciate you, man. I really, because it was a very critical time in my life where it was all new to me because I'm just a Kojic boy coming to a new town and I don't even know a lot, so I'm trying to hold on to the little salvation I got. And, you were telling me, nah, man, we're going to do it like this. And because of your discipline, man, it helped me, you know what I'm saying? And, when I came to St. Louis, I talked about you all the time because and so I'll never forget those days, bro. When I come and play on the weekend with you, man, at the church, and man, I, I was going to say something, but I was just thinking about, man. Can I say this? There are times where the service and the glory would be so high in the church, Charlie,
yeah.
and you would come, man, dude. Remember one time, Vernon, it was first fruit, and the spirit was so high, man, and I just started running around the church. Remember
oh yeah.
that? Man, we didn't know what. We was just jumping up and down. We was running. I mean, we didn't know what to do, man. But man, Vernon would just flow, and that's what I always appreciate about him, man. Man, like that brother has the heart of God, man. I love you for that, bro.
I
That's
love you too,
pretty.
bro. Appreciate it.
Amen. That's pretty dope. So hey, Cornelius, look at that. I comment the screen. My brother's on. What's up, Antonio? My brother said, "What's up, bro, man? What it
What's
do?"
up, bro?
Bro, man.
My brother. And Charlie, man, me and him just clicked from day one. I mean,
That's
day
true.
one. And me and him have a relationship that no one will ever understand.
That's
We have
true.
a bond, a brotherhood that can't be broken by nobody.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's
And
true.
I thank God for him. He's definitely been, I don't let everybody in my house. He knows. He's been through my house down through the years. My daughters call him Uncle Charlie. He
Uncle
has
Charlie.
yeah, Uncle Charlie. He's helped groom me as an artist in a lot of ways, man. And just I thank God, for the men you all have became, man. Real talk.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, Vernon, do you have a testimony? I'm gonna save mine for last because it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna mess with our tear glands, all of ours.
I'm trying not to cry right now, man. I really am.
Man. Yeah, Cornelius was always supportive, and it's like I enjoyed him. He always wanted to learn and get better. I appreciated that about him. Always had a pure heart, pure spirit, but also at the same time, it's like I had to stop being roommates with one particular person for reasons I'm not gonna say because Charlie said we can't talk about nobody that ain't on here. But I remember, talking to Cornelius and was like, man, listen, you know what I'm saying? I need another, place to stay while I'm here at campus. And Cornelius was like, man, you can move in, man. Come on, man. And let me move my stuff in and everything. I really appreciated that. Bruh, when it was nighttime, I didn't get much rest because Cornelius was over there, boy. You talking about somebody that could snore? Man, that man was snoring. That man was snoring so loud, the stars in the moon. I said, Lord have mercy. Lord, I ain't no getting no sleep tonight. I ain't no do no work in the morning. I had to skip class just to get some sleep while he was gone. You know.
Vernon, what
So,
about when I came to your house and your mama make me take my shoes off at the door?
And when you took them shoes off, everybody scurried in the other direction. Boy,
Right.
your feet were lit. I mean, Green Bay pack of cheese all the way. But Charlie, you was Charlie real smooth cat, you know, telling jokes or whatever. Then Charlie had this signature run he would always do, like people singing or whatever. Then it's Charlie say, yeah. I would kill that run, man. I mean, whatever it was, it could be this morning when I. One more time. You know, real smooth, real smooth. But man, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Brotherhood all the way. I think we all. I mean, we really established an awesome godly bond, man, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Yes, man. Yes.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that so much. Cornelius, man, we go back so far. I remember those college days, and I remember when we met. Do you remember when we met exactly?
No.
So I was playing because I had just put out I was in this guy group called Uprise, and not Uprise. It was Young Message. So Young Message. We had won this little Star Search competition, and was afforded opportunity to record some music in Nashville. And once it was on cassette. Oh my God. So I was back in. Oh look, my brother just put up. He just put up Rock. Remember how we used to do? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, man, so many.
And we were harmonizing.
Right. But so I was in my. I'll never forget this. I was in my dorm room, and because I was fortunate enough to have a room by myself. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. And so I was listening to music in my. I was listening to the Young Message CD in my dorm, and you just passed by, and you was like, "Man, who is that? What is that? What is that?" And that's how we sort of kind of met. And I was, "Oh, that's my group." He was, "Oh, that's you, man." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, man. So that's my group and me." And he was like, "Oh man, y'all sound good, man. Y'all sound good." And dude, we just connected. It was like we've known each other forever, man. And we just started talking and we started laughing. And dude, it just connected. And that was the beginning of our long friendship, man. It's lasted almost 30 years. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, Cornelius, you're 44, so we had to meet when I was like 17 or 18. We had met when I was like 17, 18 years old. So it's almost. Yeah, that's some that thing got a thing on it as far as time.
Right. Yeah. Vernon introduced me to my first Crystal Burger.
Oh, Crystal
Burger. Because we had White Castle in St. Louis. After church, we would always stop by Crystal's. Remember that?
Yes. Oh yeah, I remember. My stomach remembers too.
And that was a drink we used to get called Jungle
Juice.
Yeah.
Woo! Man, you drink that now, you might catch diabetes before you finish the whole bottle.
You catch it like instantly, Doc.
Instantly.
Right. And I could say that I personally was one of the singers on Vernon's first album. I was there through the whole process. Remember we recorded till like 12 and 1 o'clock at night? And I
really remember that. That was awesome stuff, man.
Yeah. The journey home.
Yeah, man. I mean, the journey home. I think you was like running around in the studio the whole time. We had to tape the stuff you was knocking over and everything up in there. Like, calm down, please.
Right. Oh man.
So let's
Yes,
dig
sir.
a little bit more. Let's dig a little bit more into our history. Vernon, you may or may not know this, or you may not remember this, but it's probably gonna come for your tear glands a bit. I remember on a weekly basis before I started going to Emmanuel with you all, because Cornelius would go a lot, and I remember Vernon, you would always encourage me
Yeah.
on a weekly basis. Hey man, why don't you come go to church? Why don't you come go to church with me? And I was like, I'd rather go to the party house tonight because I got this.
It's fly honey. Right. Right.
So,
Right.
so you thinking this? I said it like this. I'm finna go to the party house. Uh,
Right.
dude, you make me sound like I'm Bobby from the Plum family. That just,
Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny, bro.
oh,
Yeah, it does
but
sound like that.
so
Yeah,
anyway, so so interesting enough, Vernon. And this is gonna bless you actually, because it's always been something I reflect on, I think about, and I'm so grateful for you, because you will always ask me every week. You never be forceful, like, man, get yourself back. You will never do all that extra stuff, and I always appreciated you for that. You
Yeah.
say, hey man, why don't you
uh,
come hang out with us, man? We gonna do church, and if you want to sing, man, you can sing with us, whatever. And I was like, listen, I'm a party house this week, and then maybe next week we'll see something. And
right.
and I will never forget that this story is personal to me, so I'm probably gonna get teary-eyed, but it also has so many funny elements in it as well. So I remember the time you said, "Hey man," you asked me another week, "Hey man, you want to come hang out with us, man? We're gonna go to the church, man. We got service tonight." And I remember the time that I gave in, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, if I don't go one time, this dude gonna ask me every week. So
Oh man.
let me just go and get it out the way and I'll be done with this conversation.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, it was, I don't know if you remember this, because it's just going to take you out. But the night we went to Emmanuel, um, your dad was preaching on, I think it was, I don't know if it was called a revelation of heaven and hell or whatever, but it was the subject was heaven and hell. And this particular week, I came the wrong week, Doc, because I think the week before he talked about heaven. And I walked in there just like, oh, cool, in my little cool, like, what's up? Yeah, hey, yeah, whatever. And I'm sitting, and he said, this week we're talking about hell. And in my mind, I was like, oh, hell no.
Oh man.
Woo, that
So
is hilarious.
Pastor Moore is preaching about hell. I'm sitting there the whole time, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting there, dude, and I mean, literally hot as a hooker in church. I'm just sitting there, just like, woo, woo, woo. So
The black is hot. The black is
dude,
hot.
I'm sitting there. I'm sitting
Right.
there. I'm literally like roasting. I'm like, this the wrong time to be in church when the preacher's talking about hell. So anyway, your pastor, and he was driving that thing home, Doc. I mean, I promise you, man. I'm like, I ain't know hell was in the Bible this much, And so he was laying it on thick, Doc. He was laying it on thick, and the whole time. So right before he got to the call to the altar, I was sitting there the whole time, literally sweating bullets. I was like, listen here. Uh, listen, so Pastor Moore, and I know he didn't say exactly, but what I remember is the traditional way, because I grew up traditional Baptist. The pastor would
Right.
say, "The doors of the church is open,"
Pretty
whatever.
open.
And I know Pastor Moore didn't say anything like that, but that's what I heard. And as soon as he said that, I do not even know how I got to the altar. I just floated up there, just and I was, oh, I'm here. But I was so convicted from the hell message, uh, that I made it to the altar, and
Wow.
that actually began my salvation process. And so oftentimes I reflect on that, and oftentimes I'm like, man, if Vernon never would have been just nice about, hey man, why don't you come and just hang out with us? Because you didn't make it like this. Hey man, if you don't come to church, it's gonna be hell to pay. But it just so
Right.
happened when I got there, there was hell to pay. Your dad came on me. But
Dude,
it was a great thing, man, and it began my salvation process. And I'm eternally grateful for you for being just authentic as you were back then. Just somebody that just was cool to hang out with, that was never judgmental, but just somebody that was cool to hang out with, cool to talk over music with, and just being an overall cool person. Because you just asking me to come to church with you actually began my
wow,
salvation process. And so I just appreciate you for being who you were, man, then and then also being who you are. I'm so
man.
proud of you, man, all the things you're doing and all the things you've accomplished.
You know what, man? That's an awesome story, bro.
Wow,
It
I appreciate that.
made me think about you know, that was a time in service where the spirit was high, and I was really dealing with some emotional stuff, man. I was missing St. Louis, I was missing my mom, I was missing home, and I had been thinking about doing some stuff that wasn't pleasing the God's eyesight. And so I was wrestling in my back, you know, battling in your mind. And the
I know
service
about
was
your
high.
wrestling, Doc.
The service was high, and and he was making an appeal to come up here for people to you know, to get prayer for. And I would, man, I was just sitting there stubborn. I remember Vernon grabbed my hand and pulled me, said, "Come on up here." I don't. That's why I appreciate about him. He always sensed in the
Oh,
spirit
man.
when my spirit was low, and
Wow.
I never even told him. And I can say, man, I can really say this, man. When I lived with this brother on the weekends, man, Vernon would say, man, that I didn't see him do anything that, you know what I'm saying, that was questionable in front of me. You know, he was living a life of godly. Man, dude, you forgot. I was at your first wedding. I was in the wedding, remember?
I
I'm
remember.
like, man, I just thought about and remember we played that, you played that commission song? If I can not I would no, no,
Yeah, you're right, right.
yeah,
Fred would be mad at you
yeah.
for messing the words up, but
I
yeah.
know. The irreplaceable album.
Oh
The
yeah,
irreplaceable
yeah,
album.
yeah, yeah.
And that's one thing about Vernon, man. Charlie, I don't know if you remember this. Anytime we roll with Vernon, he gonna have the Inner Court album playing.
Either
That
watch
Fred
this.
Hammond.
Wait a minute, either Inner Court or Dawkins and Dawkins, Doc.
Yes.
Dawkins and
Yes.
Oh
Dawkins.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My jam, my jam.
Oh, how about
I
this
mean,
one? I got one better than
here's the
this.
thing. Go ahead.
Now, Charlie, notice Vernon introduced us to Lamar, remember?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Oh yeah. The thing that I was going to say, Charlie, like I never knew. I don't. Wow, I didn't know, man. I didn't know. I guess I just was doing what really came natural for me because I was on, fire for the Lord, at that early age and everything. And it's like you want to share the goodness of the Lord with everybody that you know. And it's funny, man, because it's one thing that I can say about my dad. Man, the man can preach. He knows how to pull out revelations and all those things. But as it pertains to him preaching about hell, let me tell you something. That man has the art of preaching about hell to make it so scary. If the devil was sitting in church, he'd be like, "Man, that sounds like a scary place. I don't want to go there."
Right,
Golly,
right, right, right,
you know.
right, 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 right.
So that's funny, and also too, it's heart moving at the same time. And to you as well, Cornelius, some of the things that y'all are saying is like, wow, I didn't know. I was just doing what came natural. But
Uh,
yes, sir.
Dude, I definitely appreciate you, and I again I keep saying this. And when I was, as I've been in ministry, I've always tried to coach, and especially if I'm dealing with pastors, to lead with grace. That's your greatest message. To lead with grace, to teach with
come
grace,
on.
to reach with grace, to
Hmm.
touch people with grace.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add this on the end of it, considering your own self, that you need that same grace every
Come
day
on.
just to function.
That's
And
true.
that's what I would say to you, bro. I appreciate you just always being graceful.
Wow.
I
Yes,
just
sir.
appreciate that. I actually appreciate both of you all for that.
Wow.
Cornelius, you have, man, you've always been graceful to me, irregardless
Mm.
to stuff you heard about me or what people said about me. you always just remain like, hey, that's my friend. I ain't ever turning my back on him. That's my boy forever. And
Yeah.
bro, you have no idea how much I esteem you just for being in a place called there. So
Right.
yeah, I appreciate both of y'all for your own your own unique impacts on my life, and they have been great. They have been um, big, huge. It's shifted me in a lot of places just for having connections and relationships with you all for this long. And
Um,
so yeah, man, I gotta let one
Yeah.
of y'all talk because my tear glands is about to come through.
yeah, mine is too, bro.
So
Ah,
Remo, you in the hot
Um,
seat.
yeah, man. Man, listen. I appreciate all the memories, man. I think about some of that stuff sometimes, man, because I don't know. It's like when I think back about it, I say it seems like everybody else was at their college age where they were really trying to experience college things, and then like for me, I came in there like Noah. Man, it's gonna rain, man. It's gonna rain, but you know. And some of the times I think about that, I'm like, well, maybe I should have eased up a little bit in my stance or whatever, or you know, I don't know, but also at the same time, I don't take anything back from it because I think all of us got the experience that we needed from it. I think we all needed each other to be just who we were, and I
yeah,
think that was really the nature of the whole thing, you know. And there were a lot of great people that we met there, you know, and people that have really gone on to do some really awesome things, man, and some
yeah,
big things.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that driving up the country road, I always would say, it's like, and I believe Cornelius was in the car, in the truck with me sometime, that old Blazer, that 84 Blazer. We driving, and it's like,
Man,
yeah, it's a certain way you can
that big
go
old
to the
speaker in the
campus
back.
where, yeah, that 12.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a certain way that you could go. Like you can go the long way around if you go and you can see the campus before you actually pull into it. And I will always look over there just like, man, that little campus right there is like a world of its own, man. And we had a chance to really, you know, experience some awesome things. All the way to the rat that ran up the stairs and came up in the building and Cornelius was hollering like a soprano in the Ricky Dillard choir or something.
oh, you dirty for that, bro.
He said, "It went up my pants. It went up my pants leg. It went up my pants leg." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy, man, this
hey, you
dude."
remember there was a song to this day, Vernon, that I still sing. Be glorified, be
Yeah,
magnified. Remember that?
yeah, I
Jehovah.
do. Keith Satan read these.
He did? I thought you wrote
Yeah, he
that.
read the who me.
I thought
Oh
you wrote that in the
no!
service.
I did write that. I actually did write
Yeah.
that song. But it was like a spinoff from one of those songs. Yeah, you all right? You all right?
Oh, okay, okay. And then you remember you turned us, Charlie. Remember this? I can't wait till I see his face. Remember that?
Yeah.
Woo! Now that song
Ah,
right there
yeah,
made you feel like the rapture was taken the same night.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember all that. I remember that. So you know what the song can is that we vibe to off the Lamore album is that's
oh,
how we're living. We live
yeah.
Lord to
Yeah.
overcoming it all. That's how we're living.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Living up in God of God.
Yeah.
Woo!
That
But
was that group Donald Lawrence discovered, was it? I
yeah.
Yep,
believe.
yep,
Well,
Hmm.
absolutely.
my favorite song on there is the um oh man. Oh y'all talk. It'll come back to me.
So Vernon, so talk about some things that you are like you have music out. So let's talk about some of your music, and then let's talk about your t-shirts as well.
Okay. Yes, sir. So I've been writing for quite a bit of time, but some of the music that I have on uh, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, you know, you can get it on about any online store. I have the Sound of Freedom album was the latest album I put out. It was a two-song album with a title track of the Sound of Freedom, and then one of the songs that really went pretty far was a song called Yeshua, which is the Hebrew name for Jesus. And
Hey, Vernon.
that's, yes, sir.
Hey, do me a huge favor. Can you either bring your camera up? We can barely see your face, so the kind of your eyes are cut
Sure.
off. Yeah, that's better. Hey, there you go.
Okay. And I'll slouch just a little. Pretty good?
Yeah, that's good. That's better.
All right. All right. Sorry about that, people out there. But anyway, yeah, but that's the Sound of Freedom album. Vernon Moore, The Sound of Freedom. You can pick that up on those places that I named earlier. And also, too, before that, I did an album, another two-song album called Free. I guess I'm in love with two-song albums. It's called Free, and one of the songs is Free to Worship, and the other one is Restore Me, which is a song that's still really in my heart, real big, man. Especially with everything that's going on in the world today. I think that's something that we really need to pay attention to. God sometimes wants our attention, and He'll let some pretty crazy things occur just to get our attention because He's just that much of a jealous God and He loves us that much.
That's
And I
good.
believe you mentioned also too with the t-shirts, as y'all can see, I have this "Do It Now." This is our hoodie collection here.
Oh, I
Um,
like that.
yeah, and this collection on the side and everything. This is something that was godly inspired. Uh, I was sitting at my desk at my job one day, and it was just like having a little talk with the Lord or whatever, and just he was instructing me just to kind of step out and do some things. And one of the things that he gave me was this T-shirt idea, and I'm sitting there like, well, what can it be called? And then I heard "Do It Now," and I'm just like, whoa! So I picked up my phone and immediately started doing the design. And my sister, she's been the one helping me like actually get the shirts manufactured and things like that. She has her own business, so that's really been booming. So you can pick that up on doitnowbrand.info. That's doitnowbrand.info. Click that link and shop till you drop.
That's what's up. And those of you that are watching, the link is scrolling at the bottom of the screen as well. So we'll keep that scrolling for the rest of the broadcast. But guys, I so appreciate you guys. I appreciate you both just for your contributions, one to industry. Both you are putting music out. You are constantly creating, and that's what this creative series is all about. Is about highlighting creatives that are creating, that are the doers amongst us. Because you have a lot of
Yes,
people that are
sir.
creatives and they sit on their creativity, and so but you all are bold enough, you all are gutsy enough to bet on yourself, and that's always to be applauded. So I appreciate you guys for again staying true to who you are as creatives and creating. And so please don't stop. I know there's a lot that's going on in the world today that could that we would think that will hinder our creating that we would think would hinder our creative process. But yeah, this is actually the right time to create all the more. Because as creators, I want you all to understand, and that's for everybody that's watching. I say this probably on every podcast that I have. As a creative, it is impossible for you to create anything wrong, or it's impossible for you to create anything that's bad. Everything that you create is good. It will be an
Mm,
indictment against the creator if you create anything bad. You can't create anything bad. Everything that comes from you as a creative comes from a place, whether it be a place of trauma or a place of inspiration. And I'm telling you, somebody needs your life story. That's why we all have to fall in love with our life experience, whatever that looks like, the good, the bad, the ugly. Most of you all didn't know this. Cornelius, you probably knew a little bit more than Vernon. But during those college years, I was going through an probably extreme depression. It's nothing but God that I'm actually
wow.
still here today, and
Wow.
that was actually the making. It was the making of me, bro. I'm telling you, during those college years, even though the depression is something that I didn't want to own or I couldn't own, I didn't know how to own at that time. It was really making me, and it was like an incubator for me. And so, where I was present sometimes and then sometimes not as present, dude, that I was literally in an incubator, and I was literally fighting for my life because I was
Wow.
so depressed. And but man, I'm a testament to the reality that you can grow beyond your depression. You can become
Yes,
better
sir.
instead of being bitter, because we get bitter stuff that happens to us, and sometimes people aren't the nicest, and sometimes they can make us be bitter. But we have an opportunity every day to become better, and I hope that you all that are watching, that you all choose better instead of bitter, because bitter is sort of kind of an
I
easy
like
place
that.
to go. It's easy to be bitter. It's easy to be salty and mad at people forever. But if you can choose, you have an option every day. You get to choose. You get to choose how better you're going to be as it relates to your own personal circumstances, as it relates to your own personal life. You get to choose how better you're going to be. And I want to challenge you to be intentional about being better, tending to your trauma, tending to your ish, because the trauma that's in your life, you probably didn't cause it. All the trauma that's in your life, you probably didn't even cause it. Somebody else probably brought that trauma to you, or it was inherited trauma from your in your DNA, or from the generations prior, or from your ancestors. Nevertheless, it is your responsibility to tend to your trauma and heal that trauma and partner with God to healing that trauma so you can be the best version of you that's possible. So I just want to encourage you guys, be better. And I can say this to all the guys, to both of these gentlemen that's on this platform. They have put some intentionality into being better, and not being bitter, and that's why they are as vibrant as they are creative. And so I want to applaud you, Kings. I want to just celebrate you guys. I appreciate you guys so very much. You guys
Appreciate
have
you,
been
man.
such an inspiration to
Appreciate you
me,
too, man.
and you all don't even know how much. It's and
Wow.
I can't communicate
How
it enough.
much we got there?
Sugar bear. No man.
honey, honey.
Guys, so listen. So what so I definitely want you guys to definitely, I'm gonna get mine today, be more. So I think I'm gonna get me a hoodie, bro. So I'm gonna
Yes,
go
sir.
shopping as
Get
soon
that.
as this thing is over.
Me
You
too.
can go
Yes,
check
sir.
out Vernon's product, www.doitnowbrand.info. So go definitely check out his hoodie, check out his t-shirts. Both of these guys have music on iTunes and Google Play. So you can look up Vernon Moore. There's a lot of music out there for Vernon Moore. You can look up Cornelius Beverly. These guys both have music out. Cornelius is working on some t-shirt designs as well. And so, hey man, we are all doing our thing, doing our thizzle. I have a t-shirt company as well.
Yep.
This is not one of my shirts, but I am promoting this company called God is Dope, and they have some cool t-shirts as well. So, but my t-shirts company is www.l3g .com. I'll put it on the thing. Hey, Cornelius, my mom just said, "What's up?"
Hey, mom.
Carolyn Tubbs and Stern in these Facebook streets. Cornelius,
Right.
do you remember those times, man, when you used to come home on the weekends, bro? You used to come to
Yes.
my house on the weekends.
Yeah. Remember that time I got in that bunk bed? The whole thing collapsed.
Hey, man,
And then
Oh
we went
my
out
God.
and closed the door to go to church. The whole glass shattered. Remember?
yeah, man. So this is a weird day for Cornelius. This is the weird. This probably was the day from hell for Cornelius. I promise you, because this particular weekend he comes home to hang out with my family. Cornelius is welcome to in my family like a brother, and so my mom still
Yeah.
calls Cornelius son to this day. My dad say, "Hey, what's up, son?"
Yeah.
Cornelius to this day, we're just that close. And this particular weekend, Cornelius come home and I don't even know why I even agreed, bro. Why were you on that top bunk, bro?
I don't know, man.
Oh
What
my
feeling, right?
God.
Hold on. So, Cornelius,
Hey, where we going here?
I'm just saying.
You
The
already
logic
win.
wasn't there. So
Right.
listen, so I'm sleeping at the bottom bunk. Cornelius
You
is
take the top. I take the bottom.
on the top bunk, and so that morning, bro, Cornelius, dude, you fell clean through that thing.
Sure did. As soon as I got up there.
Woo.
He was like, "Oh
Look,
no!"
I bet you,
And then I don't know, Kenise, you was frustrated or something. I don't know if we were getting ready to go to church or something. We were getting ready to go. You did something. You closed the door and broke the windshield. I
The
mean,
whole windshield just shattered.
oh my,
yeah, it was crazy, man. And then, dude,
Then the
what
car
about
would start up.
right? It was crazy, dude. So that was a weird little situation. So what about Funtricity? Doc? Remember
Oh, that was
Funtricity?
fun. Yes, 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 yes.
Remember the accident you had on the go kart or something?
Sure did. Ran into somebody.
Lord have mercy. It was just
Same
oh my
weekend.
God.
yeah, it was one of those crazy weekends, man. But nevertheless, we
We
lived,
survived it.
right? We lived to survive another day, man. So listen, Vernon Moore. So what are you working on now? I know you have the T-shirt. So what is something else that you're working on right now? What other projects are you working on right now?
Uh, well, I'm going to defer on that. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag before the cat get out of the bag, but I did kind of mention some things to you. You've been helping me more than you know. You're genius. So I've been kind of picking your brain, even behind your back. But the things I have, I want to let it surprise somebody. But I am going to continue to work on these, y'all, and put that out there and everything. But there are some things going on behind the scenes, that are in the works. So y'all just, I want y'all to stay tuned. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? So I just bust out a surprise like Beyonce and them be doing. You don't even know she dropping music.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, Cornelius Beverly, man, St. Louis, man. I know you're working on a lot, man, and you do a lot in the community. So, are there any projects that you're working on now besides the one we talked about earlier? Is there anything else that you're working on?
um, other than music.
Yeah.
Um, man, my main project is my family. That's my main project,
Yeah,
man. Take care
man,
of my
that's right.
wife, man. Been married for 22 years, and
Congratulations, bro. That's what's up.
thank you. And but yeah, there's a lot of things, man. I'm moving into a next phase of ministry, and kind of being low key about that. Just got my ear to God's heart, just praying about it, so I could be, intentional and hear God's and move to the heartbeat of God on that. But there's some things God has been putting in my spirit, because I really want to. I want to help the community. I want to help. You know, these kids out here, man. I don't want to say it's a lost generation, but man, you all know, man. Man, we've been having so much killing here in St. Louis. It's been pathetic. Like and see, I don't know if you all noticed, but they changed the gun laws here, so you don't need a license to carry anymore. So you
Wow.
got 13-year-olds that's walking around with, what I'm saying, with a chopper or walking around with a nine, and seriously,
Wow, man.
they holding up people, 13 to 14 years old, robbing people. So man, we in the month of February we experienced, what was it, 28 killings from kids. It was kids that have died. 28 kids that have been killed.
Wow.
And so I want to try to get with some people and partner with them, to try to get some youth development going on, some stuff in the community to help. Cause man, it's sad, man. You can't even go anywhere. And we're in a nice little neighborhood, but I have an app on my phone. It's called The Neighborhood, and it tells you everything that's going on every night. There's a crime in this neighborhood, like two or three around the corner. Somebody got killed at the park, and then the same night somebody got killed at another apartment complex. Like it's just been like back to back, and you know, um, and then when we were on quarantine and they came off quarantine, they were bored. They needed something to do. So, you know, um, yeah. So I have a heart for people. I really do. I have a heart for people, and I have a heart for because I just believe we got to rethink a lot what we've been doing. A lot of church legalisms we've been doing for years. It just ain't working. The world is going to hell, but we want to come in church and dance and shout. You know what I'm saying? But we're dancing, but there's no change. So we gotta really seek God and find out what our purpose is in the earth for this season.
Hey man,
So,
I agree 100%. And to piggyback on what you were just talking about, man, I had a guest on Stephen Thurston a couple of weeks ago, man, and we just had some great conversations about trauma because I think, and we talked about something that's so key that sort of kind of speaks to what you were talking about, how. As a black man being born in this country, there are certain levels of trauma that comes with us inherently, right? So we
yeah,
inherit trauma from our forefathers and foremothers, the people that have marched in this country, that were enslaved in this country, and so we have a lot of trauma that comes to us sort of kind of inherently. Then, so we live in the world today that we live in. And then I think a big part of like these young people's anxiety, I think the root of it is the world hasn't changed and it should have changed by now. And so a lot of these young people, reason why a lot of them are flipping out and the anxiety is through the roof is because we should be further than we are. We should be further than we are as it relates to our social systems. The judicial system should have changed by now. And so I really feel like the root of a lot of these young people's anxiety is there's no real change that's evident, that's tangible. Technology is advancing, and technology is advancing and booming and that. But as far as how we communicate, how we socialize, how we critique each other, how these lawyers are finding loopholes in the judicial system just to keep black and brown people locked up. Because that's the new slavery right now. That is a whole nother level of trauma that black people are dealing with, black and brown people, minorities are dealing with in this country. And so I look at all of it as trauma on trauma on trauma on trauma on trauma on trauma and on trauma. And I think I said this on Tuesday when I was talking to Kevin Gray, that I try to celebrate anybody that decides that they're gonna give it another shot. In other words, if they wake up and it's like, oh, cool, it's another day. Let's try to figure this thing out. That's worth an applause. Because there's so much trauma, especially as a black person, that we experience, that as people are depressed and people are, contemplating suicide, man, it's real issues that's going on. It's real issues. And at the end of the day, most people aren't addressing it. And so we run around, we look at these mad kids, but they have a lot of trauma that's not being dealt with. Like they should be able to go, any black man, any one of us should be able to go to the store and not be thinking about, is my life gonna get taken today if one of these police are in a bad space today? So it's trauma on trauma on trauma on trauma. And so it's one thing to pray about it. That's hey, yeah. But we have to realize that the world don't change without us individually. So Cornelius, that is a great place to be, is to be trying to think, hey God, what can we do to help this generation? What can we do to inspire them so they can see the world differently? There are some people that are locked within a block, probably an 8-block radius. And for 10, 15, 20 years, that's all they see. They never go outside to see that the world has more to offer. Right. And so it's our responsibility, those of you that are, and I'm so glad you have this passion for youth and so have this passion for young people, because we need people that are passionate about showing them another way. Because the reality is people do what they do because they don't know another way. So
yeah,
we can't be so hard on people like, hey, they doing what they doing because they don't know another way. So it's our responsibility is to model a better way, right? But we can't do that with judging them for every little crazy thing that they do. I remember being probably as crazy, you know what I'm saying? And so I can use my own life experience and my own life trauma and recognize that, wait a minute, I can be a little more graceful towards these young people. They're experiencing life in a way that we didn't have to experience it. Like the biggest bullying that we would experience is probably some joker, what I'm saying, walking around the campus or at school just mad at the earth. And so now you have cyberbullying, you have so many things that's coming at this generation that we didn't necessarily have to deal with. We can go to the yard. Like, let's have a listen to the yard. Let's go. If you want to, let's get it. Let's get it. But it's a whole nother generation, and there's so many things that they're dealing with and that they're facing that we didn't have to deal with. And so I think we have to lead with grace, extreme grace, to try to seek to understand. Watch this.
Yeah.
We have to try to seek to understand, even watch this, if that means that we're misunderstood. We should do whatever we got to do to try to seek and understand their perspective and understand why they feel the way they feel, because however they feel, it is valid. We can't discredit the way they feel. It's valid. All we can try to do is try to offer as much assistance and as much promise and hope as possible, right? So I mean, talk about that, Bernie. I know that you have kids. Both you guys have kids. So talk about how important that is.
Man, it's really important. Trauma is something that has to be paid attention to. As you all were talking, one of the things that came to my mind, um, do okay. So it's like if you have, um, and I'm just using this as an example. If you have animals that, of course, that grew up in a jungle, okay, and so if you take that same jungle animal and if you place that jungle animal next to an animal that has grown up in the zoo, you'll notice that there's a vast difference in their behaviors. The zoo animal may be more tame than what the one that they actually brought from uh, the jungle, if you understand what I mean. And some of the times people look at living conditions, people who are less fortunate, they they say those jungle animals, they're out there, acting like this, acting like that. But, I mean, but if you think about it, man, if somebody has grown up a certain way because they were less fortunate, and not to condone any wrong or any crime or anything, but if this is all they know, if it's something that was taught to them and the person that taught them, it was something that was taught to them, and so when you have somebody who has gone through so much, there are trauma triggers that are literally activated when they look at a screen, when they look on social media, and they see things that pain them. It presses the trauma trigger. And going back to even what Cornelius said, one of the things that really, I think helped to ignite those trauma triggers is when we had to go on lockdown for all those days, and it's like people feel like they're locked up, like like somebody on lockdown, and then when you come out and then you see something that's so horrifying, some people don't just cry, they take action. And I'm not here to judge, anybody, but I'm more of a person that I believe in getting to a root of an issue, because if you can get to the root, if you can help a person to find healing or an alternative way, then you can help to help somebody come out of certain situations that they may feel like, I don't have no choice. I gotta go steal, or I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. If you take away somebody's hope, rebellion will arise. So we have to
That's true.
find ways to offer people hope, so they don't feel like that they gotta resort to things that will cause harm even to others.
Yeah, I think that's real, Vernon. I think you said so many great things there, and I think I'm gonna piggyback on that because it's something I talk about a lot on this platform too. Is that all of us, will be honest. Um, all of us were born and raised in a bubble of sorts. So you think about it, it's from bubble to bubble. So we're in the womb, we're in the bubble, and that bubble shapes us in the womb. But then when we come out of the womb, um, we are in another bubble. So in a social system, we're in this bubble. So that's how we get our moral code. We learn what's right and what's wrong, perhaps, in
Maybe
those
not.
bubbles. Right, yeah, but I mean, we're in those bubbles nonetheless. And then as we grow and we mature, we still live in those bubbles until we get to a place of maturation where we actually pop that bubble. I think when we pop the bubble, we can see the world a little bit better, obviously, and we'll realize the world is more inclusive than it is exclusive. Sometimes we're in this bubble. We tend to focus on me and mine, and but when you realize that, of course, if we're gonna even take this, the gospel message that Jesus died for the sins of the world, right? And so that's everybody that's in it. So that's why that's why it's my responsibility to love everybody that's in it, is because that's the sacrifice that was made for all of us, right? So we love everybody. We love each other, as ourselves, and that's just sort of kind of way we rock, and we learn how to appreciate diversity. Uh, that you may not be like me. That you may not be black. You may not have been raised with the black experience. Um, Nevertheless, I can appreciate your diversity in if the world will if this country alone can learn the value of just doing that, of just appreciating diversity. It's not bad that somebody's different. Uh, it's not bad that we should include diversity. It's so interesting how we talk about people being cultured. People say, I'm cultured. That's a lie. Because if all you have around you is black people, you ain't cultured. If all you have around you is white people, if all you have around you is Mexican people, you're not cultured at all. You see stuff, and maybe that's stuff you want to emulate. Right, you're not cultured. You're not cultured until you have these different cultures in your space, and you're learning from them. You're learning and valuing and appreciating the way they were growing, that they grew up. That is not like the way you grew up, and that is okay. And so, if this country will learn the importance of diversity, appreciating diversity, that the things that make us different, that's the stuff we celebrate. You're different from me. That's dope. That means you're going to add value to me, and in so many different ways. So I think that is so true. But we do have to pop our bubble. But that's a level of maturation that we have to get to right first. We have to get to a place of maturation where we see, hey, this world, it takes all of us to make this world go around. Right, we can't just be like, no, just my crew is getting in, your crew ain't. That's some BS. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to think about that. We got to think about it that it is definitely more inclusive than it is exclusive. We're around. So, Cornelius, you've been quiet. Talk. We're gonna wrap up in a second, but just chop up with us real quick.
Oh, I'm enjoying you all, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think we definitely gotta be, be like.
Hold on, stop. Do we need to? Hey, put your boy on cam. It's disrespectful for him to be talking off cam. Put him on here.
I was trying to
behind our back.
my daughter had FaceTime me, so I was trying to cut this off.
No, I'm talking about Vernon. He got that Bluetooth thing.
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Man.
That's crazy with that Optimus Prime transformer they keep talking to us while we trying to. Man, this is a professional platform, and you just bringing all this ghetto in here, man.
Decepticon.
Hey, man, hey, Cornelius, curb your speaker, Doc.
Right. Yeah, man.
But so go ahead, Cornelius. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree everything what you all said, man, wholeheartedly, bro. I just think, but here's the thing. The day we're living in now, nobody's willing to challenge anybody anymore. Like, we don't have fathers anymore in place and mentors that'll help that generation and pull them up and take you. Man, back in the day, the older people would take you under their wings. Man, they may not have been nice by it all the time, but I mean, because you mentioned something about, show them a better way. We got to be real, like, the Bible said, he that wins souls got to be wise. Like, we really got to be very tactful, because you just can't come at this youth any kind of way, because they will cuss you out and tell you what, you have to really know, and you got to be led of God at the end of the day. You have to be led of God, how to handle, that's one thing Charlie used to say. Remember, he used to tell me all the time, man, you got to teach people how to handle you, because you'll teach people, you got to show people how to handle you. And so, and that's what I think, we got to be real intentional, and we got to be led and pray to God, ask God to give us strategy, man. That's what I've been praying for that for the last 2 months. God, give me strategy. I don't want to just go in blind. I don't want to just go in without a plan. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I need a strategy and a plan, man. So I'll be effective. That's all. So we can be effective, and we ain't just doing stuff just to be doing it,
right? And
wasting time, because the time is commodity that we don't have. We don't have time. We can never get time back.
That's right.
And not to be spiritual, Charlie, but there's a scripture that I live by that says, "Teach us the number of our days, man, we may apply wisdom to our day."
Yes,
And I
sir.
always pray that God gives me wisdom of this day, so I'll know so I won't be out of season trying to do something that God has left in that last season. Because it worked then, it may not work today. You
Yeah.
know, so I think that's applicable to everything.
That's real, bro. And I think so. So for us, and for those of you that are watching and that will watch this, I think the overall thing that we're trying to convey for this particular episode is to use the Motel 6 tagline: "Keep your light on."
Keep your
Right?
light on.
Keep your light
Amen.
on. Well, watch this. We have to know one, and this is where a lot of religious people sort of kind of I know I can agitate religious people like in 2 seconds. They get there, just like I get on their nerves, they get on mine probably even more. But I know we've always experienced people that didn't have the right approach as they were communicating stuff to us. And we got to realize that, yeah, you can be saying the right thing, but if you say it in the wrong spirit, it's error.
Come
Mhm.
on. Yeah.
And it's ineffective.
All the above.
Ineffective.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's error. So if you communicate, you can be communicating something that's right. But if you say it in the wrong spirit, then it's error. And people can't receive. People can't receive you communicating to them in the wrong spirit. So it goes back to what you were saying, Cornelius. It is important that we temper ourselves and we learn how to one. That's why the world don't change without you. So if you wanna make positive impacts on the world to change it, guess who has to change first? It always starts with us individually. The world
Like
don't change. It's a whole chapter in my book, and it's called the whole chapter. The theme is the world don't change without you. It just doesn't. And we like to look at, hey, I'm waiting on the world to change. Okay, while you sitting here waiting, if you would change you, the world would change a lot faster because of you. And the problem is we have people in positions that are trying to change the world without changing themselves. And that is non-effective. As we can see, even in our political systems, if you don't change you, you're not going to bring change to nobody else you impact. And you do. And so I live in a space where I'm constantly challenging my ideals only because I want to remain progressive. I want to always be progressive, forward thinking. I don't want to ever become a dinosaur in 2020. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if dinosaurs walk the earth right now?
I don't want to imagine.
It'll be
Me
crazy,
either.
right? But some people are dinosaurs in the way they think. They have these old 1900 century ideals, and it's like, anybody you can't do that in 2020 and expect for it to work. That may have worked in the 50s. It ain't gonna work in 2020. And so you've got to make sure that we are in tune with God enough to get these strategies on how we be progressive. And I'll be honest with you, it will go against so many religious norms if you remain progressive. But that's the place we have to be. We gotta be constantly challenging our ideas so that we can remain progressive. And I think that's the key to longevity. And none of us really should be getting old here, right? I said this on our live a couple of weeks ago that it's interesting. We actually all of us were designed for change. Ask me how I know.
How?
How you know?
Because your body changes without your permission.
Oh, come
Your
on
body
in here.
your body changes without your permission. That says to me that God really designed us for change. The problem is people don't change up here. Your body is changing, yo. So if you don't change up here, and that's what happens, people get stuck. We was laughing about this on a live a couple weeks ago.
Hold on. Let me put a praise on that.
Wow.
That's real though. That's real. Your body changes without your permission. So that says to me that God designed us to always be changing and evolving up here. The moment we stop, we become dinosaurs. And then dinosaurs are irrelevant right now. They
That's
have no
true.
purpose. They have no purpose on the earth right now. They would tear up everything, all these beautiful buildings we build, and they would tear all that stuff up just for it's in my way. So they don't fit in our society, right? And so imagine how these old dinosaurs or ghosts, people have these old ideas that were passed down from generation to generation, and they never challenge these ideals so that they can become a better version of themselves. Each one of us, Cornelius, you, Vernon, me, each one of us has a responsibility to correct and challenge the ideals of our past and of our the previous generation so that we can change the narrative as it relates to our generation and the generation that'll come after us. But if we don't challenge those ideas, guess what? The church called it generational curses. It's just generational ideas. We just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And watch this. The insanity part of it is, oh, you expecting different results, aren't you? It don't
Right,
happen
right.
that it
Once
doesn't
you
happen
give,
that way. You have to change your mind up here. So, guys, Mel, we spent a full hour just chopping up. I want you guys to know, man, this has been so good for me on so many levels. One, just reconnecting. We talked about a lot of different things, and I appreciate both of you for your unique impacts in my life. And they've been huge. So I celebrate you. I applaud you. If there's any way that I can help you with anything you're doing, y'all have my cell phone. Just hit me up. I am one phone call away. I salute you, Kings. I appreciate you. Y'all stay positive and stay creative. So if y'all got any final words, Cornelius, we'll start with you. You can go for it, bruh.
man, love y'all, brothers. Love y'all, man.
I love you too, man.
I enjoyed this, man. This was very productive and wonderful, man. It was great. It was great.
That's what's up, bro. That's what we do. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute.
look
Hey,
out!
let's
Look
do that.
out for the new.
I wish Manuel could have got on because we can do that. It's sugar. Remember that sugar that song that Manuel
Oh
came up
my
with?
God.
Sweet vibrated sugar.
Uh,
Oh man, that was crazy. Dude, we had so much fun, dude, in college, dog. So yeah, Vernon, last final
okay.
words.
All right. My last final word. It comes in the form of a question. I promise I'm through because my AirPods told me they shouldn't quit on me. But it comes in the form of a question. Charlie, when Cornelius fell down out of the top of that bunk bed and he hit the floor, did you stand up and say, "And the high place, I'll bring them down"? Ah.
That is so silly, dude. That's so crazy. Oh,
Right,
that's
right,
crazy.
right. Love y'all, man.
Love you too, bro. I appreciate you. Hey, those of you that are watching, please support these brothers, man. They're good brothers. And I think Kevin Gray and I talked about this. Kevin Gray has a song called Good Man. And I will say this as a testament, these are definitely good men. So definitely support their endeavors, support their music, support Vernon t-shirts. The websites are below. Vernon's website is doitnowbrand.info. Please go support what he's doing. Cornelius has music on iTunes and Google Play. Vernon does as well. Go support these brothers. These are good men. They love God and they love people, and that's what it takes to be better in the world that we live in. We do live in a world that's extremely traumatizing, but I applaud these men for just being better and making a conscious decision to be better and to stay creative in the midst of all the chaos that's going on. So I wanted to have this podcast, want to catch up with my bros, but to also celebrate all the things that they're doing in the world. So I love you, Kings. I appreciate you guys so very much. Y'all quiet. Do it
Do it
now.
now.
Do it now. Do it Now go to the link right now. It is www.doitnowbrand.info and go check out Vernon Moore's tees, his hoodie. Hey y'all, it's hoodie season, so go definitely check out his brand and grab your hoodie. I'm grabbing mine as soon as I get off this broadcast. I'm going to get mine. So y'all go and support my boy V Moore and support my boy Cornelius Beverly. Hey guys, this has been a great podcast. Thank you guys so much for taking out time out of your Thursday to be with us. We'll be back on Tuesday, but we'll have another special guest on this coming Tuesday. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Please continue sharing the lives. I appreciate you guys for all the shares. I appreciate you guys for all the messages that you all send to me, telling me how much these podcasts are inspiring you. And that's our goal, is to inspire, to entertain, to make you laugh, and do all that cool stuff. And I'm getting all them other DMs too. I see y'all trying to come for me. But listen, I love you guys. Hey guys, stay positive, stay creative, and stay clear. We'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.
Yes, sir.